My name is Dr. Monica Potter, Consultant Child and Adolescent Psychiatrist. We use the Maudsley Family Based Approach, which involves all family members in different ways, with initially very intensive work, so weekly visits to the clinic and weekly monitoring of weight. Outpatient appointment usually lasts up to an hour and usually involves two professionals from the team. That could be, for example, a psychiatrist and a CAMHS specialist nurse, or psychiatrist and psychologist. And there might be a combination of meeting with the family all together. There might be some time for the young person to meet with one of the professionals on their own. And it's a process of reviewing what are the family doing and how they're helping the young person to eat. Thinking about any issues that arise really in between the sessions, any difficulties, any conflict that's arisen at home. And in that process, trying to get the parents to recognise actually they're the ones doing this and empowering them that way.
So my name's Paul Anthony. I'm what's called a systemic psychotherapist, and they're people who usually work with families. The general research base for helping young people recover from having an eating disorder is to have family therapy and a kind of family-based approach. And I think that that's because it's incredibly difficult for a young person to refeed themselves when they've got that quite skewed thinking in relation to food. And taking a family therapy approach is really trying to help the young person recognise that and challenge that in a supportive way.
Main meal at the end of the day and then grazes in the...
So the pattern of seeing somebody really in terms of recovering from anorexia is there's an initial phase where you're trying to galvanise everybody to help the young person manage their eating. So it's almost to help, refeed that young person. And that's a challenging time because it's almost treating a young person a bit like a toddler in relation to their eating. So your parents are taking much more responsibility. That can create tensions. So that's why we tend to see people on a weekly basis to start off with. And then once somebody's gaining weight, we tend to move to a fortnightly basis. Parents feeling enormously guilty and totally unnecessarily because there's no evidence or research that indicates how anorexia develops. We're trying to help them almost park that, thinking to themselves, well, what have I done to cause this, whilst aiding in their son or daughter's recovery, because that guilt can also be around for brothers and sisters too. From the young person's point of view who has anorexia, I think they can feel guilty too, because they can see that their parents are enormously stressed and they become concerned about the impact that it's having on their own brothers and sisters. So the role of family therapy is to help people think all of those dynamics through, really, trying to get a very good supportive network, building on the strengths of the family to help that young person basically head towards and normalising their eating pattern. The focus is very much on what's happening and what's going well and how can people recognise that and do more of that.